Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today we're going to be customizing the Declasse Draugur in Grand Theft Auto Online. I haven't customized this vehicle since the day it came out, so it's been a very long time. I'm actually looking forward to customizing it again. It doesn't have a whole lot in the way of customization, but that's not what this thing is built to do. This thing is built to absolutely dominate the off-road category in GTA Online, which it still does to this day. We are of course going to do a full review on the car a little bit later, so stay tuned for that. But for right now, let's go ahead and upgrade the armor. We're going to go all the way up on that. For the brakes, we're also going to go all the way up on those. For the bumpers, we do have front and rear bumper options for this vehicle. Now, a lot of these are going to be these sort of like winches and stuff like that. There's nothing like too crazy that you can really do to the bumpers. This is probably pretty much as crazy as it gets. I think that I kind of like the shield vented bumper. I think that I kind of like that a lot. Let's go for the secondary shield vented bumper. I think that's kind of cool looking. I don't know if I want that extra bar sort of around the outside, but for right now we'll keep it. For the back, we can go for the secondary shield or the ridge shield. I would assume that let's go ridge. I would assume that's also in the secondary color. It seems like most of the door stuff and all the tubing and stuff like that is done with secondary, so I guess we'll see for sure. But let's see about the doors. What do we want to do for the doors? Honestly, stock doors are pretty cool looking. At the same time though, I do kind of like the tube lightweight panels. Those aren't bad. And then we also have the tube short doors, which is kind of neat, or the tube mesh doors as well. These are kind of interesting too, the tube web doors. The net stuff isn't really doing it for me. I think I'm going to go for the tube web doors. Let's do that for right now. Engine, we're going to go all the way up on that, of course. For the exhaust, we have a few different options for the exhaust here, which is nice, of course. Now this is a side exit exhaust. That is pretty much the only thing you can do, except, oh, you can do the bullhorn exhaust. Not a big fan of it. I'm not going to go for that one myself, but I think that I will go for the dual titanium twin exhaust. So let's go ahead and throw that on the vehicle. For the grille, we have the skid plates. Not really sure why that's under the grill category, but we'll take it. As far as the skid plates go, I feel like that totally gets in the way of that winch, which is annoying to me. But I'll ignore it for right now. Let's go for the Stinger skid plate. I kind of like that. Let's go ahead and do that. For the headlights, we will go xenon. We will put a neon kit on this thing to lower the center of gravity so it handles just a little tiny bit better. Now, for the livery options with this vehicle, we have quite a few different ones here. Let's go ahead and just quickly change the primary color to like a black steel so we can actually see these liveries. First up, we have the white stripes livery, which is actually a pretty cool one. We also have the blue stripes as well. We have the racing livery, which is pretty cool too. I'm kind of messing with this one. We're at Colorvine and Colorvine 2. We also have the GTO Racer. We have the hard stand racing, color stripes, or camo. I think the first time I customized this, I went with the color stripes. Today, I'm kind of feeling like going for the white stripes. I think that's going to be a cool livery for us, so let's go ahead and throw that on. Now, for the primary color on this vehicle today, it's kind of up in the air what I want to do. I don't really have a build in mind. I was sort of thinking of like a sort of like a militarized sort of build, like going for one of the greens, like a foliage green, which actually, to be honest, looks really good. I think I am actually going to go for a foliage green in matte for the primary color. And then for the secondary color, what do we want to do? We could do it in a matte white, which kind of goes along with the white livery that we have on the vehicle. At the same time, the black is pretty cool. We could also go for like a sort of like an olive drab or something like that to like kind of contrast the foliage green a little bit. Perhaps a forest green actually could be kind of cool. Could also go for like a regular green. I don't know. Yeah, maybe we'll go regular green. Maybe we will. Yeah, I think, actually, you know what? I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm kind of wondering if I should just go for like a gray or something like that. Maybe a black. Honestly, I think it's gonna look better in black. Let's just do it. Now for the seats, we can change them around. It's got these weird carbon bucket seats, and then you can upgrade, well, or honestly downgrade to street seats. We have carbon seats with actual padding on them, I believe. We got the competition seats. We have some leather seats there. lightweight race seat, and then the Mark I rally seat. I feel like if this was my car, I would want it to have some sort of comfortable seat. So I'm going to go for the racing seats because I feel like they're just kind of nice. So we'll go ahead and do that. And for the rear skid plate, we can go for a bunch of different ones. We don't have a Stinger skid plate back here. Let's go for the performance skid plate. I think that kind of matches up relatively nicely. Yeah, I feel like that's okay. Snorkels, let's go ahead and add one onto the vehicle. We'll go for the Ram snorkel, kind of like the look of it. For the spoilers, we will go ahead and add one just because if I don't, I'm going to regret it later. This thing does benefit from a spoiler option, of course, so we will do that. I will actually lower it as well just because this thing has like almost too much ground clearance to a degree, so I will do that. Race transmission. For the trunk, we can swap out the spare wheels for some other stuff if we want to. You know, I actually kind of like the performance upgrade. That's kind of cool. It gets rid of the tire, though, is the only thing. Honestly, just the stunt cage, I think, is looking pretty good. I'm going to just go for that, honestly. Turbo tuning, let's go ahead and throw that on. Now for the wheels, off-road category, what do we want to put on here? We got a lot of good options. I feel like something 5-spoked would look good with the Draugur. Maybe the Ridge Climber. Kind of like the look of it. And then for the wheels, what if we did them in... Do we have like a... Is it like a green or something I can do? Bronze isn't terribly bad. Dark Ivory maybe for this build. I feel like that looks pretty good. I feel like it's okay. Let's go bulletproof on the tires. Tire design. Could also go for that. You know what? I will today. I usually don't do that. So let's do it. Okay, we're done our build. Let's go ahead and take it outside. Let's see how it looks outside here. And then, of course, we're going to do a sound test as well as a full review on the Declasse Draugur. So let's go ahead and take a quick listen. It sounds like a pretty average run-of-the-mill sort of regular, like off-roady sort of styled car. It does sound like an off-road vehicle. I feel like it doesn't have catalytic converters or something on it. So I don't know. It's a little more raspy sort of, if that makes sense. But yeah, it sounds okay for being what it is. I mean, it's not supposed to sound amazing, I don't think, but. Regardless of any of that, we have to talk about the performance of the Declasse Draugur. Now, I do believe that this still to this day is the fastest off-road class vehicle in GTA Online. So when it comes to racing, with 4 wheels, that is, I must say with 4 wheels, because if it's just the fastest off-road class vehicle, the Meibatsu Sanchez as well as the BF400 will beat this thing, I do believe, on most tracks at least. But as far as 4-wheeled off-road class vehicles go, this thing takes the cake. It is the absolute best in the game. Now we do have the new Canis Terminus, which just came out relatively recently, and with the release of that, this thing definitely got a competitor for sure, because when this thing came out, it absolutely just destroyed the off-road class. Nobody could win anymore, basically, unless you were using a Draugur, because it's just that much better. It's that much faster. It's just that much more capable. However, when the Terminus came out, that thing will maybe give this thing a run for its money. It is faster in a straight line, but beyond that, it's kind of up in the air as to whether it's better. I still think that the Draugur has some pretty big advantages off-road. I think that it does have a wider track width. However, the Canis Terminus is a little bit lower, so it has a lower center of gravity, which does help in certain situations as well. So, you know, it basically comes down to personal preference, I think, at a point. But the Declasse Draugur, I will say, has dominated since it came out in the off-road class. And I still think, to this day, it is the best off-road class racing vehicle in the entire game. It is absolutely crazy, as I'm sure you guys can see by what I'm doing while I'm driving here. You can see just how crazy the Declasse Draugur is. Like, this thing is insane when it comes to off-road racing, and when it comes to just being capable at, you know, doing pretty much everything in GTA Online, the Draugur is awesome. The only thing that it's not like super great at is like, well, protecting players from gunfire or anything else really, because it's not very safe in the cabin, as you can kind of see. This thing is definitely meant to be sort of an off-road buggy, and that's kind of about it. But hey, that's what it's designed to do, and it does it really, really well. I would say definitely pick up a Declasse Draugur. The week that this is going out, of course, this thing is on sale. If you're watching this in the future, it might not be on sale still. But if you're watching this when it comes out, definitely pick up a Draugur as soon as you possibly can, because this vehicle is just so worth it. It is an absolutely incredible machine in GTA Online, that's for sure. And for the record, the snorkel does actually work on the Declasse Draugur. I made a point to actually say that at some point in this video, and luckily I kind of fell into the water there, so that was a good opportunity to mention that. But yeah, the snorkel does actually work, which is really, really cool. Some vehicles in GTA, the snorkel does not work. Others it does. This is one of the ones that it does in fact work on, so that is really cool. So if you need a good off-road class vehicle, look no further than the Declasse Draugur. Regardless of if you're watching this when it's on sale or when it's at full price, this vehicle will not disappoint you for however much you're paying for it, which is, you know, just under 1.9 mil if you don't have the trade price, or just over 1.4 mil, I believe, if you do have the trade price. So regardless, the value for money is there. This thing is absolutely incredible. It's a blast to drive. All-wheel drive, of course. Huge amounts of ground clearance, decent customization. Overall, it is a very good vehicle. Definitely pick up a Declasse Draugur, guys. That has been it for the customization and review on it. If you enjoyed the video, a like is of course appreciated. If not, dislike. Subscribe to my channel if you guys are new, and I will see you all in the next video. Until then, take care. Peace.